Hi everybody, it's Dara, and today we're going to make one of my favorite dishes, I think ever. I had it on the last day, my last day in India, and it's called baingan bharta, and it's just this delicious eggplant dish. So you're going to need eggplants, olive oil, salt, and onions, tomatoes. The spices are garam masala. You can get it at Whole Foods. Mustard seeds, Whole Foods, hopefully, if not online. Cumin seeds and hing. That's a little bit harder to find. H-I-N-G, otherwise known as asafoetida. So that just gives it a little extra something. If you don't have it, it's okay. You could put ginger, you could put garlic. I like garlic. So there you have it. Those are the ingredients. I'll list them below. And I've started cutting open the eggplant, and I thought I would share this with you because this is tricky. If you don't roast an eggplant properly, you'll end up with like chunky bits, and biting into like eggplant that's not soft enough is not pleasant. So here's the way that I do it, and it comes out perfect each time. I cut the end of the eggplant off. I cut it in half. Then I take a knife, and you're going to see a 15-second Instagram video in a little bit. But I take the knife and I cut diagonal all the way down to the skin, but not breaking the skin. So you get cross hatches all the way down, and then I cross hatch the other way. I go very close to the edge of the eggplant and cut all the way through to the skin. Then I pry open pieces, and in between, in the depth of the eggplant, I sprinkle salt. That will take out some of the moisture. It also takes out the bitterness of eggplant, and it's going to help it cook. So I do all that. I set them all up, cross hatch all of them to the skin, sprinkle salt in between the crevices, and I let them sweat for a half an hour. And moisture will form, so you can squeeze out whatever moisture. There's not tons of it. You squeeze out the moisture from the eggplant, and then you can wipe off the salt off the top. And then you place it face down on parchment paper, and put it in a preheated oven, a 400-degree oven, for I'd say an hour at least. You will see the eggplant start to shrivel, and I will show you, and it's really cool because when you turn it over and let it cool, then you can just scoop out the eggplant, and you use that mushed up eggplant to add to the other part, which I'm going to show you. Okay, so I have this set up so that you can see what I'm doing. I want to show you how closely I crosshatch to the edge here, crosshatch cut, and then you end up with spaces where you can sprinkle your salt. So you just take a little bit and you go in between each of them, if you can, you know, most of them. So you're going to go like that in between the crevices, right? And then you're going to let it sweat. Okay, so now I'm preheating the oven to 400. Okay, so we have the parchment paper. I cut a piece of it to go over my baking sheet. Okay, I want to show you. You can take the cutting. I forgot to show you because sometimes I take it and cut gently all around the edges. That way I can sprinkle salt there too, all the way around. And then you really just get the whole thing scooping out so nicely. That's taking it to another level. But if you want to ensure a really soft eggplant, there you go, there you have it. Okay, so now we just, can you see? Yeah. We just squeeze out a couple drops of water, not much, and of each of these. And then we take a paper towel. Yeah, you just wipe it, and you do that for all of them. Then you place them on the baking tin, face down, like so. Oh, sorry, forgot. You need the olive oil. Okay, so I take a dish, I put some olive oil in it, then I take my clean fingers and I just rub it over the edge. And you do that for all of them. Then you place them face down, all of them, and put them in the oven for an hour. If you want to take it up a notch or take it to the next level, as my mom always said, you could peel a couple garlic cloves, chop them up, and put some garlic in to bake into the eggplant. Okay, so now we put in our eggplant. Sorry, gotta turn it over. And then we put in our eggplant. Okay. You could take off the tags, I didn't. I think it should be fine. So there we have it, everybody. I think you can see me. This will be in here for an hour, and in about a half an hour I'll start chopping onions and tomato and doing the whole thing up here. Okay, they're out of the oven, and depending on how hot your oven is, mine were in for like an hour. Could be less, could be more for you. Just, oops, turn them over, and you could wait until they cool a little bit. So I'll let them cool, and next up is the onions and tomatoes and spices. Okay, a minor delay because we're out of tomatoes, so I was going to go to Whole Foods, but actually I'm going to go meet Herbie, get some tomatoes from him, and then finish the video. It's funny, it's like going to borrow a cup of sugar from your dad, and he always has fresh vegetables. It's so nice. He invited me to go to a party tonight. He's always doing something fun. Let's go see Herbie. Okay, we saw Herbie, we got tomatoes, got a little delayed with the phone call. The eggplant is done, and now I'm going to show you the baked eggplant, roasted, baked, cooled, and it can be scooped out. And then this pan will be heated up, and in the order to which they must go into the pan is the coconut oil, healthiest oil to cook with. It will get very hot, and then we can add black mustard seeds, brown and yellow mustard seeds. I think you can get these, I got them at an Indian market. You can try online, get organic if you can. That is the hing, the asafoetida. Again, Indian marketplace or online. These are cumin seeds. So these can all go in very hot. They're not really gonna burn. The cumin seeds we watch. They need to just turn a different color, a darker color, but you don't wanna burn them. Then we have salt, pink Himalayan. Then we add the garam masala. Then we will have a chopped onion, then chopped garlic. When those have become translucent, the onions, then we add the chopped tomato, which will be chopped. Then that all will be in the pan, and once that, the onions look like, the tomatoes look like they're kind of cooked, then we'll add the scooped out eggplant into the pan with everything else, meld it together, and serve it with rice. I want to show you how easy it is to scoop out the eggplant once it has been roasted well and not burnt. And look how easy it is. It just scoops right out, and you put it in the bowl to be added. This could be used for a lot of different cultures. Baba ganoush is an eggplant dish. Baingan bharta is Indian. There's one that my friend Kristen in France does with Provence herbs. So just learn how to just practice. Even the eggplant, which is olive oil, salt, and lemon or lime, so delicious. So it's that easy. What a great spread to put on toast, raw toast, flax crackers, rice, naan. What a beautiful vegan option, I have to say. It's not the prettiest food once it's cooked, but it is so delicious. It has such a beautiful texture, and this is a perfect example how raw food, like eating these raw, you have to work so hard to not make them bitter and the texture, but you just cook it with a little bit of salt, tiniest bit of olive oil, and it just gives you such a creamy, wonderful texture. The rest of your meal can be raw. This would be wonderful with my rice substitute. Remember that? With cauliflower and kale and quinoa. So we can be creative. Add as much greens as possible, but don't be afraid to cook onions. Don't be afraid to cook eggplant. Don't be afraid to cook things that intuitively you would rather eat cooked. I would really rather eat sweet potato cooked than raw. Beets I can eat raw or cooked. But eggplant, I really would rather eat it. I've had it. I know how to make the raw bacon. I just would really rather have it cooked. That's me. And I see nothing wrong with adding some cooked to your raw to make a raw fusion. So there we have it. Okay. I invited Herbie over for dinner. He's going to be so happy. Voila! Okay, we are now cutting the onion in half, like that, and we peel it. Okay, there's our view of the pan. The coconut oil is really hot. First goes the mustard seeds, teaspoon, teaspoon. They pop everywhere. It's part of it. Okay. Not too high of a heat. They're everywhere. Lower the heat. That's funny. Okay, cumin seeds. Teaspoon. And that's hilarious. They pop everywhere if the heat's too high. Do you see that? I'll add in the salt. And the everything's in. Mustard seeds, asafoetida, salt, cumin seeds. And we're going to let that, I'm going to leave that in and not edit that out so you can see to leave your heat not totally high. Heat of the coconut oil. And now we're going to wait. Let me turn the light on. Haha, they say do as I say, not as I do. Yep. Okay, so that's cooking. And those are going to change colors. Hopefully that didn't burn anything. I think it's fine. And the garam masala, a teaspoon of garam masala. Maybe a teaspoon and a half. Season it to taste. I haven't measured this exactly. A couple teaspoons is fine. So that's the onions and the garlic. On medium heat. High is not good, medium good. I know you guys like when I make mistakes because you know what, everyone makes mistakes and I like to leave them in. You know what I like also in here, and I don't have, is chili peppers, the fresh green ones. So what I can do is use a little bit of cayenne for some heat, because that's what I have handy. I like it to be a little spicy. Okay. Now all we do is wait till those are translucent, add the tomatoes, let them cook. Add the eggplant, let it cook, and serve. It'll stay in the refrigerator for about 5 days, easy. but you won't have it last that long. You want to eat it. Okay, in go the tomatoes. Herbie's here. Hi, Herbie. Does it smell good in here? Thank you. Oh, look what I got. A green juice from Herbie. Look at that. How'd you know that's what I wanted? How'd you know?
I do know. It's a nice thing to do.
That's such a nice thing to do. Hi, everybody. Here's Herbie here for dinner.
Hi.
What does it smell like?
First class restaurant. Are you kidding? And I happen to know the chef, so I mean, it's very warm. It's a good relationship.
And you happen to have supplied the tomatoes. We thank you. Okay. So they say, and you know I'm no Indian food expert by any means, I just wanted to try and recreate this dish at home. So they say you make the onions translucent, then you add the tomatoes. And they say when the oil separates from the tomato sauce, then it's done. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I just kind of wait until the tomatoes look like they're cooked a bit. So I'm a little impatient, so I'm going to add the eggplant. We're hungry. There's the eggplant. How gorgeous is that? All right, a little piece of skin ended up there, but that's fine. Okay.
It's not easy to use the word beautiful with food, but...
It's beautiful? Herbie's saying the food is beautiful. Herbie, you should come look at this. Look at the seeds. Mommy used to cook with eggplant a lot. She used to make ratatouille. That's a little easier to cube your eggplant and cook it on the stove than to roast it, but roasting gives it such a nice flavor. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
Does that remind you of Mom?
No.
It doesn't? She used to make eggplant. That's funny.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think you ever knew what was in it. What?
No, usually eggplant, I think I know.
Yeah? Well, that's
All right,
eggplant.
but you have carrots and tomatoes, onions. What else?
Mustard seeds, no carrots, onions, garlic, eggplant, tomato.
Oh, the tomato is looks orangey. So.
Yeah. Okay, so now we put in our eggplant. Sorry, gotta turn it over. And then we put in our eggplant. Okay. You could take off the tags, I didn't. I think it should be fine. So, there we have it, everybody. I think you can see me. This will be in here for an hour, and in about a half an hour I'll start chopping onions and tomato and doing the whole thing up here. Okay. So that's it. So we're gonna serve that over. I made you rice with turmeric and salt, so it's yellow and healthy. That's the thing about Indian food, is that they use the spices and herbs that are medicinal, so they're really good for you. You have turmeric every day, fresh. That's why you have no more inflammation, or less. You ready to eat?
I brought my appetite with me.
Okay, Herbie, let's do it. That's his turmeric juice he gets from Moon Juice every day like clockwork. So thank you, Amanda Chantal Bacon, for opening up such a fine establishment. And Herbie is going to take his first bite when it's not too hot, and he can let you all know if you should try this recipe at home.
That's a lot of weight to put on my shoulders.
You're so honest, though. You'll say if you don't like it. It may need salt.
Very eatable, edible.
It's eatable, edible?
Yeah,
Well, thank you, Herbie.
Very, very good.
Enjoy. Bon appetit.
Go off, and then I'll tell you a saying someone said. If you haven't been exposed to Indian food and spices, this is a great way to start. Very tasty. Perfect day. This is to make it, because I say life is like a jigsaw puzzle, and each day you're putting different pieces together, and this is the key piece.
Aww.
Good food, because you are what you eat.